Hello Virgos, thank you so much for checking out my channel. I'm Sarah. You've reached me here at Reflexive Moon Tarot. So all the folks that have been checking out the videos up until this point, welcome back. And yeah, let's get into some readings for you. Do go check out, I made a separate segment, so if you want to just get through to the readings and keep it strictly Oracle and Tarot, that's fine. But if you're interested in the discussion on the Gemini new moon, please go check out that video. It's just a few minutes. And yeah, let's get into this reading. And please remember to hit that like and subscribe. And I appreciate everyone so much who's been supporting me up until this point. So with that, we're going to get into some oracle cards from Miss Mildred's deck. We'll see what she has to say for the Virgos out there checking out this reading. Ooh, we have arrow. We have arrow and we have fetus. Who else is gonna bring you a broken arrow? Who likes Robbie Robertson? Rod Stewart did not make that song. It was actually a Mohawk guy named Robbie Robertson. So let's see what, I want to see what the fetus, that was like, it came through reversed, I think, the last time. It might have even been for your reading, Virgo, but let's have a look. I know that arrow speaks of having good direction, kind of like eight of wands energy. So like setting goals, like all the wands energy is all about like goal setting and actualizing your goals. It's also sending messages, like when you think about, like, and even messages of love when you think about Cupid's arrow or eros, which is a little bit violent, just saying. So yeah, it may represent falling in love. I find that to be an interesting comparison, but we'll go with it. We'll go with it. Somebody thought of it one day and it is what it is, right? New beginnings when it comes to the fetus, 100%. Developing new possibilities could mean actual new life and new responsibilities that come with that life. So it might not necessarily be an actual human being. Believe it or not, duck fetuses and human fetuses look very much the same up until a certain point in the gestational period. So maybe baby duck is is in the near future for you. Are you going to go visit or enjoy some crispy duck? I personally am not consuming flesh at this time, but I do not try to interfere too much with those who do, right? If you come to my house, I might not serve you meat. Just saying. So, I most likely won't, but I still give my kids meat. They're not, I respect their choice to not be vegetarians. It is what it is, right? So, what is happening for the Virgos? Oh, that's too chunky. That's too many. Too chunky. Are we getting too chunky? Are we having too many things? Never. Never. It was so funny. My first kid, when they first started talking, one of the first things that they learned how to say was no, never. Like a little evil villain from day one. All right. King of Wands, speaking of reverse, speaking of evil villain, this is definitely the evil villain card. I hope I did not. Ouch. Sorry, foot is still on the mend. Okay, evil villain, King of Wands. There is somebody in your life, Virgo, who could be a fire sign. Aries, Taurus. Aries, Sagittarius, or Leo. This person is very jealous. And like both the King and Queen of Wands are super, super jealous. The King of Wands wants to like control and ruin, whereas the Queen of Wands kind of wants to destroy and ruin. So either way, both are very destructive, right? The King of Wands might not necessarily be able to let go. The Queen of Wands is able to let go because they basically just kill it and move on, right? So the King of Wands is like the narcissist, the quintessential narcissist. Like they don't let go until you make yourself disappear from the situation. So I really hope that if this is a bad individual, like you're at a loss with this individual, so don't get caught up in a cycle with them thinking that they're going to change for you, because that's not going to happen. This could also mean that this could also be that you think that they're on your side or that they're on your team or that they like you or something, and they don't. They might be doing a good job of making you think that way, but that's not the case. This could be like, and with narcissism comes all kinds of other toxic behavior like stalking and I don't know, like just the list goes on and on. That was only one thing, but this king also really does a good job of creating like legacies of trauma. Like they don't care about who they hurt. So they're the type of person that will tell you that it's almost like they'll manipulate to a point where they'll like act like, you know, say for example you have children with this person, they'll act like you're gonna do something that will hurt the kids or that you'll use the kids to hurt them, when in actuality they're just mirroring their very toxic behavior. They're like, what is the word, projecting it onto you, because they will compromise the well-being of your future, of whatever life you've created with that person. They'll compromise all of it, and like they'll like just take you all down. They don't care as long as they look good in the end, or they think that they do. We have the Ace of Pentacles. It fell down reversed. So money, this person could be financially abusive, or you may feel like you don't have enough money to get out of the situation. Money might be a problem for you. This could be like that a fire sign has kind of left you high and dry and now you're without. Life has been hard for you perhaps. But that doesn't mean that it is not within your capacity to flip this upright and get yourself in a good place, in a healthy place, where you are manifesting your money, your wealth, your dreams, your aspirations, what it is that you want to contribute to society within your career. Like that is all there for you still. It doesn't go away. It's like, you know, when you think about the Baudelaires and Lemony Snicket's series of unfortunate events, right? Everything was taken from them, and they had this like psychopath on them for their money. And then in the end, there were so many times where they thought they would be okay, and then it wasn't the case. But in the end, they still had each other, and they didn't, they escaped, you know? So it's like a situation where you may escape with nothing but the clothes on your back, but you still escape, and there's hope. There's hope for the future. There's hope for your legacy. There's hope that you will remain connected with the divine energy that you're made up of, that you're connected to in the cosmos. It's all there for you. It never goes away. You know, you can find that balance of give and take. You can find that consistency, that energy, that connection that we have with the sun. The sun is also a star, right? So don't let that fool you, feeling like you're in the dark. And just look up, always look up and see those little specks of sparkles. The sparkly sparkles in the ocean of darkness that we see in the sky at night, right? Perfect for this new moon, right? It's not lights out for the moon either. The moon has still got sun shining on it. We just don't see it because we're cutting off our own light. It's our own little lights out, right? So we got the King of Swords reversed. All right. So you have to get your mind in order, Virgo. You are psychologically messing with yourself. And you might be psychologically messing with others as well. If you have a lot of trauma, there's nothing to, like, blame is not gonna benefit you in any kind of way. I would say that that's like the last thing you want to be doing. But taking responsibility for your frame of mind, your lack of health within your mind, like your mental health, there's nothing that we can do about being traumatized, especially repeatedly. But what we have to do is to free ourselves from that mindset of being triggered constantly. Because it's hard, especially if you really are stuck in a spot where you're around nothing but toxic people constantly. So really getting honest with yourself about your goals, your intentions, and then developing possibilities and the new responsibility that you have to yourself to keep at it, to be there for who you are responsible for, starting with you. And to learn what it is you need to learn. And if you find yourself sabotaging yourself, catching yourself, oh my gosh, this other reader totally just said that in a reading that I was watching this morning. Anyways, like being like it, what is it like? It takes literally a split. It's less than a second that it takes for our mind to submit to that dopamine effect that is toxic, the toxic dopamine effect. So, for example, say you are trying to quit drinking or quit smoking. We used quit smoking, I think it was in Cancer's reading. You try to quit smoking. It literally takes less than a second for you to make a decision and to fall off the nicotine wagon and to go light up a smoke. It's like a decision that you make. And sometimes it's a decision that you make that doesn't necessarily lead to you lighting up a cigarette in 5 minutes. It's a decision that you make to repeat the cycle, and before you know it, a week later, you're lighting up that cigarette. I did that once. All it took was sitting around a campfire. I lit up a cigarette. I was like, this is the perfect time for a cigarette. I'll be okay. I'll be all right. And I just had one, and it was fine. Sure enough, all it took was like some months, and I was smoking again. No problem. I had quit again. But that was like a relapse that was very like, it's like I tricked my own brain. Like the King of Swords is very much related to the Magician reversed, because like psychologically they will, it's like, you know, work some black psychological magic, you know, and you can do that on yourself. And this card being in this position 100% indicates that that is the case. Oh, lots of people have been getting this one, the Nine of Cups. So in your past, you've experienced wish fulfillment, a cause to celebrate. You've accomplished some things. So don't, like, think about that. It's always important to acknowledge the good things that happened in our past, the good places where we're coming from, because they help us also. Those, like, you know, those experiences and acknowledging those experiences help us to get through future hard times or get out of current difficult situations, right? Yes, I'm right. It's going to be hard. Maybe you're going to come to a realization the degree of which you have been wronged. Or it's just going to be a period where you your heartache and pain is at the forefront of what it is that you're dealing with. This doesn't necessarily mean that that you're going to go through a really hard time. I just feel like your shadow work is going to be acknowledging and working through the pain and sorrow that you've been through, the way that you've been basically murdered. Because, you know, like when we go through trauma, it changes us. And we don't ever get to go back to how we originally were. There's no going back, and maybe you're going to be grieving that you're never going to be the same again. And that's rough. Like, I'm not trying to be a Debbie Downer. This is me telling you how you can stay honest with yourself. And to be okay with yourself and everything that you've been through. Because it's so important for you to not dwell on the ways in which you might be the bad guy. You might be your own villain, right? Your own fucking Sith. And we don't have to be like Kylo Ren, who's like on the fence at the end, right? Like, we don't have to die not being able to make a decision. That guy was mean. He chose the dark side, and he was very manipulative in his position on the fence, right? But there's a loss. There's a loss that you're going to be faced with on some level. I don't know what that is. But I feel like it's a piece of who you are. It may be a missed opportunity. But it could also just be sickness. It could be so many things. But at least I see this hope. And if it's your wish fulfillment, if you feel like you had everything, and I mean, like, when I say everything, I mean, like, maybe you had a partner, maybe you didn't, but maybe you had, like, a home, things were going good for you, like, you had so many things that so many people would, like, can just wish for, right? Like, your wishes were granted on so many levels, and something about that is gone. So it doesn't necessarily mean someone's going to stab you in the back, but something. And I feel that loss. We have the Queen of Wands. But you, despite these bitches here, these reversed kings over here, you get to be the Queen of Swords up, or Queen of Wands upright. So never mind their insecurities. How about your confidence? Staying confident in knowing that even though you have to reset, or you may lose everything that you wished for on some degree, or like your dreams may be shattered on some level, you still know at the end of the day that you're the shit and you can make it all happen again. And that time and space is on your fucking side. Despite your inability to conceptualize and grasp the vast nature of what that is. It's too big for our minds, I would say, for the most part, but at the same time, we can still accept it and manifest. We're going to nurture new goals, new beginnings. It's going to be nothing but breaking new trail for ourselves, Virgos. Okay, let's see what's next. Hierophant, spiritual guidance. People perhaps see you as a spiritual guide. That's pretty strong. That's pretty powerful. I mean, it makes sense. The Hierophant is a earth sign, Taurus, right? And you're an earth sign as well. So it is within the nature to be grounded and to help people manifest themselves in a way that is grounded. Manifest yourself spiritually through the act of grounding yourself first, right? So contracts, being a person of your word is also the way that people are able to see you. So you uphold what it is that you agree upon. What else? Having a good connection or good method of teaching spirituality even comes with the Hierophant. They're a good teacher. So they're solid in their knowledge of spirit, of ethics, of doing what's right, of spiritual law even of languages as well, I would say. Because religion basically is language of the spirit, and it also involves actual different languages, but when you think about like language of the spirit, it is, I would say it's quite universal, different, but the same, similar ideas, right? And then we have the Sith Bearer, reaping what you sow, and this here is a good harvest. That's what we hope for. Healthy harvest. So by fall time, I would say even things are going to be looking up. You've put in some time. You put in a lot of heartache. And you might not immediately be in a place where you're able to give back, but that is something like this kind of came out turning, right? That's the goal, to be of service, to give back what has been given to you. And embarking on a new journey. 100%. This is amazing. Getting over the assholes in our life that have done us wrong. Having to let go of our dreams to do better for ourselves. So grieving that process, but staying strong and confident, knowing that we're making the right decision, and that spirit is like our ancestors, and you know who we are and what we stand for is the foundation of that others see that we're strong and you know doing the right thing, and then being able to like knowing like the message will be like you'll reap our rewards, right? Like you'll feel valid at that point. And you might not be able to give back immediately, but that's definitely something that is in the future. Just stay away from any energy suckers. Watch out for them. You have it in you to defend what you've worked for. So that's always going to be something. Like when you're moving onward and upward, there's always going to be somebody that's just like, hey, how can I fuck with this shit, right? So yeah, be on the lookout. You're not immune to those people. No one ever is. And with that, Virgo, thank you so much for checking out my channel. I really appreciate all the love and support. So please do hit that like and subscribe button, and we will catch you again next time. Take care and bye for now.